G'day, it's Shane here from Grape TV, and thanks for joining me at my home bar. More importantly, thank you for helping me bring McLaren Vale wine to the world. Today, a little bit of a different theme, and as you know, I do try and do some different things each week, so it doesn't get boring. Today, the theme is from somewhere else, and I'll explain that because both wines today are grapes from somewhere, but have been actually made, the wines made elsewhere. So first of all, not a McLaren Vale wine, but it's one of my favourites in terms of whites. The weather's starting to get nicer here in Australia, and couldn't resist showing a white. So here we are, Clare Valley Estate. It's the 2009 Defender of Faith Riesling. Riesling would have to be my favourite white variety. The only thing I think that, one of the few things that McLaren Vale, as a generality, doesn't do that well. There is a couple of spots here that does well, but generally doesn't do that well. So let's do the wanky thing. Now I am tasting these cold, in case you're wondering, because my preference is to taste them and to give you the background on what they're tasting like, the way you would taste them. Now, this wine has the usual lime, citrus characters coming through. That fruit is quite aromatic, In fact, when I was swirling it around down here, even before I got it to the nose, I could start to smell it. There's a little bit of citrus peel in here. Maybe the slight bitterness from the white section of the peel more than the coloured section. So it's showing that there is starting to get some development in there from this 2009 wine. So let's try it. Riesling is just Riesling, folks. This is good. The Clare Valley, I think, makes one of the two better Rieslings in Australia, or the regions for Riesling, I should say. Definitely limes. There's a little bit of floralness coming through on the palate as well, and there's quite a nice aftertaste. So there's plenty of acid here. It's quite lingering on the palate, and quite enjoyable. Now I wouldn't call this an absolute classic, but I don't know how much this is even costs, but quite a pleasant drink. I can just see this on a Sunday afternoon outside with some friends in the lovely weather. And there's definitely enough acid there to go with, you know, some good seafood. I think a good plate of seafood. Now, the second wine is from a McLaren Vale winery, from Pyramima. Right, it is the 2010 Late Harvest Sauvignon Blanc. Now, in terms of the theme for this week, from somewhere else, this from somewhere else is actually because the grapes are from the Adelaide Hills. Now, the Johnson family who owns Pyramima, there is also another part of the Johnson family that has vineyards, etc., up in the Adelaide Hills in Oakbank. So probably a fair bet that it's come from Oakbank. I don't think I've ever had a Late Harvest Sauvignon Blanc before, so I'm looking forward to it. I note the alcohol on it's 11%, so not a huge level of alcohol. So let's do the winky thing. Maybe a bit too cold. There's some there. Not the most aromatic wine I've had. Bit of lychees maybe coming through, which is a bit different for Sauvignon Blanc. But let's give it a try. Plenty of sugar there, guys. Plenty of sugar. In fact, in a lot of ways, it's almost like a partially fermented wine, which I suppose in some respects it is. Plenty of sugar there means that with 11% alcohol, I suspect this was quite ripe when it was picked. There is some grassiness coming through, a bit of herbaceousness, but I tell you, the sugar really just coats the palate, coats the mouth overall. Hard for too much else to get through. There is an interesting orange component to it. Very interesting orange component. Like the old orange muscat and floras from Brown Brothers that used to try. So quite an interesting wine. I don't think it's really for me, to be honest, but I can imagine lots of people lapping this up. The sweetness is not cloying. I did mention before there was lots of sugar, but the sweetness is not cloying. And I think that's important. Yes, there's lots of sweetness around the mouth and everything, but it doesn't, yes it coats, but it doesn't like vroom over the top of it like say a liqueur muscat would do or something like that. So that's showing there is plenty of acid in there to take the the sugar back off the palate, so to speak. Yeah, so look, pleasant wine. Nothing sensational. To be honest, I wasn't expecting anything sensational. I think maybe it's a play on Sauvignon Blanc. That you know, try and do another sales pitch towards Sauvignon Blanc to see if that'll sell. But hey, if you like the sweeter styles, give it a go. So that's all the time we have for Grape TV today. Hope you enjoyed it. Two very interesting wines, as I said, come from somewhere else to where the wines were made. The Riesling, by the way, I don't think I mentioned it, was actually made in the Riverland. So you know, the wine was from Clare Valley. The grapes are from Clare Valley. Wine made in the Riverland, and of course, the Late Harvest Sauvignon Blanc came from the Adelaide Hills, but made in McLaren Vale. So, thank you very much for joining me at my home bar, and I hope you enjoyed it as much, at least as much as I enjoyed passing this on to you, and have a great week. Thanks, see ya.